Happy birthday, Galileo!
Hey there, stargazers. I'm Dean Regas, astronomer for the Cincinnati Observatory.
And I'm James Albury, director of the Kika Silva Pla Planetarium in Gainesville, Florida. We're here to help you find your way around the sky. We're so nerdy here at Stargazers that we have favorite astronomers.
Hey, speak for yourself. I'm not that, who am I kidding? I am that nerdy.
And our most favorite astronomer has a birthday this week.
Galileo Galilei, telescope pioneer, prover of the heliocentric system, observer of the mountains on the moon, sunspots, phases of Venus, moons of Jupiter, and ears of Saturn.
Ears?
Well, he thought so. And Galileo would be 455 years old this year.
And we want to show you how you can recreate his observations from your own backyard.
Let's show you. Galileo was born on February 15, 1564 in Pisa, Italy. The night he was born, the planet Venus was visible just after sunset in the west with a crescent moon up above it. Over in the east, the planets Jupiter and Saturn were making a nice little conjunction. Galileo would grow up to study these four objects extensively with his homemade telescopes.
Galileo didn't even invent the telescope, but legend has it an assistant merely told him what one looked like, and Galileo built one himself in under 24 hours. Okay, we now have our sky set up for February 15th of this year at 7:30 p.m. looking high in the southeast. There's the moon to the left of Orion. You should see the moon every night this week since it'll be in its waxing phases.
Imagine being one of the first people to look through a telescope. You would see wonders no human eye had ever seen. When Galileo looked through his telescope at the moon, he saw something like this. He remarked, "It is like the face of the earth itself, which is marked here and there with chains of mountains and depths of valleys."
Now we're facing southeast just before sunrise. We can see three planets that Galileo studied over 400 years ago. The second brightest planet, higher in the sky, is Jupiter.
When he looked at Jupiter up close, Galileo saw something completely unexpected. Four stars always seemed to hang around it in a line. On certain days, there would be one on one side and three on the other. Sometimes they were split, 2 and 2, and other times they were 4 on the same side.
Galileo figured out that these were moons that orbit the giant planet. After watching them for only one season, he computed their orbits. Io goes around Jupiter every 42 hours, Europa circles around every 3.5 days, Ganymede takes a little over 7 days, and Callisto orbits once in a little under 17 days.
Next up, let's identify Venus. She's easy to find since she's the brightest star-like object in the sky.
When Galileo looked at Venus through his telescope, he saw that it wasn't a perfect circle. It has a phase like the moon. And as he watched it month after month, the phase changed.
Not only that, but when Venus was a crescent, it was larger than it was almost full.
Aha! This was proof that Venus went around the sun, not around the Earth. It got larger and more crescent-shaped when it was closer to us, and nearly between us and the sun.
And it was fuller and smaller when on the opposite side of the sun. Saturn is also up in the morning sky this February. It's that fainter point of light just below Venus.
Galileo's telescope wasn't quite good enough to see Saturn clearly. As he squinted and squinted, he did notice something strange in the image.
He wrote in his journal, "Saturn has ears."
What he was seeing, just barely, were Saturn's rings. To him, they looked like ears sticking out of Saturn's face. It took another 50 years for astronomers to realize those ears were actually rings.
So, in honor of Galileo's 455th birthday, we have the waxing moon in the evening sky.
And Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn just before dawn.
And if you have a telescope, aim it at these four objects and pretend you're Galileo, seeing the wonders of the universe for the first time.
Keep looking up.